former president and noted stable genius Donald J. Trump had a bold new plan to save Ukraine and get the United States' two geopolitical foes to fight each other. What's the plan, you ask? Are you ready for it? Bomb the Russians while impersonating the Chinese. I'm not kidding. At a speech in New Orleans over the weekend, Trump said that, hey, why don't we just paint Chinese flags on our jets and bomb Russia? I'll give you the quote here. He actually said, bomb the shit out of Russia, and said, and then we say, China did it, we didn't do it, China did it, and then they started fighting with each other, and we sit back and watch. What? I'm sorry, huh? What? That is, I mean, those are words, okay, and that was an idea, not a good idea, but an idea. But again, here we're dealing with, maybe it's because I don't understand how much of a genius level. I'm not up there in the genius level like Donald Trump is. Very stable genius, in fact, and then they say, is Donald Trump an intellectual? I'm like a very smart person. So, look, obviously you've got a few problems with that genius level plan. And number one, I'm pretty sure he doesn't care about. It's illegal under international law. In fact, Article 39 of Additional Protocol 1 to the 1949 Geneva Convention, so it's been around for some time, it states that it is prohibited to make use of in an armed conflict of the flags or military emblems, insignia, or uniforms of neutral or other states not parties to the conflict. So now, that said, is the United States in the conflict? No. Is China part of the conflict? No. But if the United States were to take an aggressive action, such as bombing Russia or the Russians with our bombs, but using the flag of the Chinese, that would be pretty bad. That would not be a good situation. And it also would be illegal under international law. So, as I said, China not engaged in the conflict. And so, of course, the Trumpers would be like, oh, well, they're never going to know if we don't get caught. See, we can do it. And that's the whole genius of painting our flag or painting the Chinese flag on their planes. But yeah, there's some bad news there as well. You see, F-22s are not even used by the Chinese Air Force. The Russians would not mistake F-22 interceptors or fighters for Chinese planes. And speaking on that, right, you can't really bomb the shit out of Russia with interceptors. Those are air-to-air superiority fighters, not bombers. Wow. So look, and by the way, finally doing this last one thing, right? One I would hope that nobody would be in favor of would be getting the United States in the conflict to begin with, and even assuming that it would work. And there's like a negative 42 chance of it happening, right? Getting China and Russia, two nuclear powers, to fight each other. Again, that's also another ridiculous idea. But would most likely get the United States into a conflict, again, two nuclear armed powers, into a hot war. This is why we're not doing a no-fly zone over Ukraine as well. Because then the United States, our fighters, would have to shoot down Russian fighters, and then guess what? We'd be in a war. And by the way, if this was even attempted, and I know there's no way that this would ever be attempted because there are actual smart people in the room, but the whole idea wouldn't even work anyway because for all the different reasons that I had pointed out. And then when the Chinese find out, what do you think they're going to do? You think they're going to fight the Russians? No, they're going to join with the Russians and fight us. Because, like, how dare you? How dare you do that? It's so ridiculous. So ridiculous. This is how World War III starts with Donald Trump's incredibly stupid idea. Oh. This man had the nuclear codes. I know. You know what, though? He probably just should have just sent in the actual invisible fighters. That's what it is, or the invisible bombers. The stealth bomber. You can't see it because it's very stealthy. You literally can't see it. It's invisible. No, that's not what stealth means. Moron. Idiot. It's not actually invisible. It's just invisible to radar. Oh my God. You can still literally see it. Hey, do y'all remember when he said he was smart, like really, really smart at war? I know better than the generals. I know more about offense and defense than the generals will ever understand. Believe me. Believe me. Than they will ever understand. Ever. There's nobody bigger or better at the military than I am. Yeah, those are real quotes, by the way. Those are real quotes. I kid you not. Dumbest man in America.